Good morning, everybody. It's Michelle. Hey, I just went through a storm. So many of you parents out there will recognize the let's get everybody ready and out the door on time for church, right? It's a Sunday morning. Let's get everybody ready. Let's get out there and hopefully we can get to church on time. Whew, man. I'm not going with my family this morning. You're probably wondering, well, if everybody's at church, why aren't you there? I'm not going. I'm actually headed out the door to a different church. I'm going to help do a leadership training this afternoon with their leadership staff. So excited about that. But man, the storm we just went through. And as I kind of shooed everybody out and I got in the shower and I started thinking, what is something that I could share with everybody today? And I just thought, this is it. How can you change one teeny tiny thing and look at a storm a little bit differently and get a good result? So one thing that I've done, and I've learned this over the years, so I've been practicing, and I was thinking this is great for anybody, but especially for a new leader. If you can learn this right now and practice and practice and practice, you are going to maximize your effectiveness as a leader. So it's very simple. You just make one tiny shift in your perspective. Little teeny tiny shift in one thing that you say to yourself. So you want to know what that one thing is? Of course you do, right? If you're still listening, you want to know. So the one thing that I often tell myself is, they are not giving me a hard time. They're having a hard time. So think about this. As human beings, right? If somebody gives us a hard time, if they push our buttons, right? What do we have to do? Yeah, we got to push their buttons back, right? We got to give them a hard time. That's how we're kind of created, right? However, if somebody is having a hard time, so let's say a friend of yours, a really good friend of yours is having a hard time and he or she comes to you and they're talking to you about what's going on and what do? Well, you're naturally more supportive and encouraging, right? Yeah, but what was the change? One thing. The only change was in how you perceive this person. Are they giving you a hard time or are they having a hard time? Okay, so as I was going through this storm this morning with the kids, I just had to remind myself, hey, listen, sometimes it's hard to be a kid, right? It's hard to be an adult, and we all have our moments. And so I kept reminding myself, they're having a hard time. They're having a hard time. How can I help? How can I serve? Okay. And I think that that's one thing that I have had a lot of practice in, is going into just about any situation and just saying, I'm here to serve. That's it. I'm not here to get anything. I'm not here to gain something. Of course, I always do, but I'm really there to help and to serve. Okay, I hope that this has been helpful and just try it out. Try it out. When somebody comes near you and they're in a storm, right? And they're bringing the storm right to your front door, try to shift your perspective and say, wow, they're really having a hard time. And just see what happens. Okay? All right, until next time. Bye-bye.